right now, with the amount of competition, I would recommend coaching is the right way to go. Looking back, that 1 year was, at that point of time, it was horrible. I used to view corporate sector as something disgusting, man. I had a few quarrels with people. If I meet the younger me, I would slap him and tell him, no, don't do that. The only goal during the early phase of my childhood or during the engineering was to get into a government service. People whose turnover is around 20-30 crores per annum, they come to me and they don't sit in front of me. They are like, sir, CBI or PED or try something out. I'm just barely surviving by. I think IIM Bangalore was not so academically rigorous as I would have imagined. Barcelona winning.
Hala Madrid.
Proper way to eat a biryani.
MBA in one word.
Changed my life. I used to view corporate sector as something disgusting, man.
Hi Harish. So I was looking at your profile and honestly, you have left behind things that most people spend years trying to get. IIT, a bank job, a government job, then you prepared for UPSC and eventually an MBA from IIM Bangalore. So I have to ask, how many times a person can restart their life?
Hi, Shekhar. First of all, thanks for having me here. It's good to speak about things which are, looking at in my rear view mirror right now, felt like foolish choices, but nonetheless, they made me a little better along the way. To answer your question precisely, I think it's up to you and the kind of support you get. You can restart as many times as you can. I would have to be very honest and say that I had amazing support from family, especially. They never had any doubts, like at each phase when I wanted to restart something, when I said that this is not what I am looking for at this point of time. They were completely behind me. So I think in that way I've been blessed. So that gave me a kind of a mental peace to pursue whatever I was doing, even though at that point of time I did not know whether it was right or a wrong step. But yeah, I think you can एक ही जिंदगी है. I think you have to at least give a couple of switches
Ah,
and see what's working for you.
right,
So
right.
in that, yeah,
Correct.
in that way I've been blessed.
So Harish, did it feel like restarting or did it feel like evolving?
At that point in time, it felt like restarting because everything was, I had to start from scratch again. Like post IIT, I had a single goal. Like I wanted to get into civil services. It was a bachpan ka dream sort of thing. Like I always wanted to end up in civil services. So without any second thought, even did not sit for campus placements.
Yeah.
So I blindly jumped into that. I gave a good couple of attempts. When it didn't work, then I was like, no, I shouldn't be this long away from working. I think something inside me started a fire, and I was in touch with my peers at that point of time. Everyone was working, so I felt like a little singled out, and I was dependent entirely on the money which my parents were sending, and I did not feel that good about myself. क्योंकि from at least from the high school level, I had all of my education was sort of free. I had given a good couple of talent tests and all, and I cracked, and I got a decent amount of education free. So at that point of time, after graduating, when all of my peers were working, looking back, it wasn't making sense like to stay that long away. I felt that a couple of years I should give a good proper attempts, and if it wasn't working, I always thought I should try something else. But the issue is, try what? That was another question burning.
Uh,
Uh, and to be very honest, I used to view corporate sector as something disgusting, man. Like
hmm, hmm.
I had this, I don't know, it's in the kind of environment around me. Everyone was into government sector. All of my relatives, people around me, they were always constantly praising, you have to get into a sarkari nokri. That's the way of life for us. So
Hmm.
I've been sort of brainwashed, but that did not come from my family per se. They were very open. They were very honest with me. They were like, try anything you want. Whatever's working for you, it's fine with us. But uh, and the peer circle or the people around in my hometown or in my relative circle, they were sort of into the Sakari Naukri craze.
Right,
Even I was of that same opinion.
right.
Like,
Okay.
UPSC. उसके बाद then I came across these exams called Staff Selection Commission wala CGL. I think it's a
Okay.
pretty famous exam,
Mm-hmm.
and so I thought why not give it a try. I heard about it during my UPSC prep, and I thought why not give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went and sat and looked at the previous year question papers, I felt it was relatively in my zone because all they were asking was math, quant, 10th and 12th standard math,
Mm-hmm.
and English.
Right.
I felt that is at least my strong areas, one of my stronger areas. Even if I felt that with a little prep, I can fine tune it and get ready for it again.
Right.
So that's what I did. Whenever I had some time, I used to put in some couple of hours. Tried. I used the reverse engineering. I used to solve the previous year's papers first
Right.
and try to figure out what's the repeating pattern. So that's how I was able to crack that exam. Uh, Maybe I should have joined coaching at that point of time, but I felt personally it's not needed.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, with the amount of competition, I would recommend coaching is the right way to go,
Right.
even for any exam,
Mm-hmm.
because I think what it does is it'll channel their energy into something concrete.
Right.
Because any exam, the syllabus will be vast.
Mm-hmm.
So I was lucky enough to crack it at that point of time when the competition was little
Mm-hmm.
low comparatively. But right now, looking at I keep a track on how much the cutoffs are increasing every year. I want to see what's the trend going on.
Right.
I mean, people are giving like crazy cutoffs right now.
Right.
They are
Right.
giving their all.
Right.
I don't think that's possible only through self prep. People are going all in.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
earlier SSC CGL used to be a backup, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
Right. Right. Right.
So
So ये हरीश ने खुद बोला है, like I did not tell him to say कि coaching is needed. ये हरीश का जवाब है. All right, Harish.
that's from my personal experience.
Right.
Like because even CGL, it took me a lot of time to crack it. It's not the first attempt. I couldn't crack it.
Okay.
So since I had some time, since some free time, I was able to do it. But people who are already working or already busy with something else, I think coaching is the right way for them to go. Again, I'm sure it will depend from person to person.
Of course. Harish, looking back, like which version of yours, there were different versions, I'm assuming. So which version of yourself feels most different from who you are today?
I had I worked as a probationary officer in a bank right before my government service. I mean, that was a very brief stint of 1 year.
Okay.
Looking back, that 1 year was, at that point of time, it was horrible. Like you can imagine what I was going through. I had graduated from IIT and I was preparing for civil services, toughest examination on the planet as claimed. Uh, and I got into bank service, and the first thing they did was they put me into passbook printing, man.
Into what?
And there's this cliche in Sarkari bank where majority of the people who in the rural areas they come only to get their passbooks printed. They want to know what's the balance they have and the transactions they do. That's the only sort of operations which run primarily in the branches.
Okay.
So my first posting in that bank was in a rural area,
Okay.
rural area of Telangana. So it was very hardcore agricultural community,
Right.
and it had a lot of aging population,
Uh-huh.
and they had only single goal in their life to get their passbooks printed.
Okay.
And usually, as a probationary officer, that stint shouldn't last more than a couple of weeks. What's there in to learn in passbook printing?
Right.
But I had done that job for nearly 6 months. Every day I go, I mean, I had to manage a huge crowd. That branch had a footfall of nearly 1,000 people per day on a
Oh.
very bad day.
Oh.
That
Okay.
was too much for a staff of 5 to 10 people to handle.
Right.
And then majority of them they come only to get their passbooks printed. And
So you were
most of the
the
time,
main guy over there, sort of.
yeah, I was the main guy. Their eyes used to brighten up the moment they see me. And I used to get teary seeing them.
Oh.
Like, what's happening? Why is this? Why are people so financially literate, or why do they have to come in such a scorching sun and wait for 2 hours to get there to to know about their bank balance, man? Nothing else. Not even for a loan or from some other transaction. I get from. I used to feel very bad for them.
Right.
So we sort of tried different things around the brand. We tried to, as much as possible, provide them ways, other ways to find the balances. Or whenever they bring in their grandkids, we used to tell them no need to bring them. So there is this number you can simply dial it. So why I'm telling all of you is this. So though I hated that job at that point of time, I was working non-stop. Like morning 10 o'clock, I used to log in. I used to take only bio breaks and I used to log off at evening 7 or 8.
Wow.
So it was hardcore operations.
Mhm.
But at that point of time, I wanted to get out of that Naukri as soon as possible. I felt that it was not up to my potential. What am I doing here?
Right.
I enjoyed that stint, I have to say, interacting with people. I had a few quarrels with people. I had I had received many blessings from them, from the elder people. So looking back, it was a holistic experience, I would say. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Mhm.
And to where I am right now, I don't know. Sometimes I feel, what if I had stayed in that bank job?
Mhm. Mhm.
Where could I have been? In terms of money, maybe I have grown, but in terms of right now, I interact only with a laptop, zero interaction with outside people, right? So
Right.
it's a sort of trade away I had to do. I did it consciously, but I think that's where I have improved, or what has drastically changed is I had in my previous all the work experiences I had people around me.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I was interacting with them more than the work I was doing. But right now I work more and I interact less. I
Ah.
don't know whether it's good or bad, but that's what has changed post MBA.
All right. Okay. This is Under the Bodhi Tree, conversations about ambition, careers, reinvention, pressure, and the stories people don't usually tell behind success. So, Harish, like before we continue, can you introduce yourself, like proper introduction?
Yeah, sure, why not? Hi everyone, I'm Harish Kumar Obili. I graduated in 2015. Post that, I took a career break of around 3 years to prepare for civil services, and then I did a stint at Andhra Bank as a probationary officer for 1.5 years. And then I had the privilege to serve as a GST inspector for Government of India for around 3 years. And then I again consciously made a choice to pursue MBA. And luckily, I got into IIM Bangalore, where I spent 2 wonderful years with good friends, batchmates. And I had the chance to visit Taiwan as part of my student exchange program. So I stayed there for 3 months. I traveled around a bit, and right now I'm working at an MNC in India, so as a growth operations manager. So this is where I stand today, and I hail from Nellore in Andhra Pradesh. This is close by to Tirupati, and personally I'm married, and my brother is also an IITian from IIT Roorkee. So that's how it's going. And my personal interests are football. I'm a diehard football fan.
Yeah.
I support Football Club Barcelona to the
Hala Madrid.
death. Yeah. So with the World Cup season coming around, it's a pretty exciting time for me. So that's it pretty much about me.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So, Harish, like, what did success mean to you when you entered IIT, and did the definition of success change by the time you entered IIM Bangalore?
Yeah, I would definitely say it did. And not only at those 2 points, I kept changing the goalpost uh, as much as possible. So I had to reinvent myself a couple of times in between as well. So I'll be very blunt and honest. The whole purpose of getting into IIT at that point of time, I was very naive. I thought it will help in my civil services.
Okay.
That was the ultimate aim. So since that was the golden goose I was chasing, I thought maybe uh, studying at IIT might give me a better chance. I had high hopes to take mechanical engineering as my optional.
Oh, okay.
Looking back with the CG right now, I think if I meet the younger me, I would slap him and tell him no, don't do that. Don't even think about that. So mm, as I know, but IIT was pretty chill environment. After working a couple of hard years at Chaitanya Narayana in Andhra Pradesh, our environment where we were confined to a single building and we had to wake up at 5 or put in the hard hours to crack the examination. Suddenly, when you enter the IIT, it's like it's an undescribable feeling, man.
Your own master, basically.
Yeah, exactly. There was no one to, control us or even monitor us. Maybe uh, being that young at that point of time, we did not have that view. With the amount of knowledge right now which I've accumulated, if I had that at that point of time,
Right,
careers would have been different.
right,
And, but I think it's a blessing in disguise. It gave me an opportunity to explore.
right.
It was never like I was never lost. I always had something to because I had a goal. Whether it was the right one or the wrong one, that's an entirely different thing. I was not lost in the darkness.
Right,
I had a goal. It kept shifting, but I was trying to move towards that.
right.
So in that way, even from IIT and then now into IIM and post this in my career currently in the corporate sector, I have a goal. I'm working towards that. Whether it's at snail pace or whether it's at rabbit pace, but it's moving. I was never stuck at one point of time, place or in point of time. So that's something that I'll have to be proud of.
Great. Awesome. But Harish, you talked about goal and that. So did you always have a plan or you were figuring things out as you like went ahead?
Yeah, like I told you, the only goal during the early phase of my childhood or during the engineering was to get into a government service and serve the nation.
Right, right. Oh,
That's
okay.
that serve the nation. That should be underlined. So I was
Oh.
so naive at that point of time that I felt that the only way to do service is to get into a government service.
Right.
And over time, I think that view has changed. So the goals evolved.
Mhm.
Like when civil services didn't work out, and I went into government sector, I was serving people in a different capacity,
Right.
but that didn't feel enough. Or I would say the learning curve has stopped over there after a
Mhm.
period of time. You
Yeah.
know how Sarkari Naukris are generally in India.
Right.
Every bit of work or every move that you make, it has to be with your own interest. There is no zero pressure from the top down.
Mhm.
It's like nobody will guide you or nobody will expect anything out of you. So it was a pretty chill environment again. Like I was back to IIT in a sense. Like no monitoring, nothing, no goalpost,
Okay.
nothing's happening.
Okay.
So I felt that no, no, this isn't how I have envisioned the career to be. At least I so again I consciously made a decision to pursue MBA. That was the first point of time where after being in the government service, I felt that okay, I am where I wanted to be in some capacity or the other, and this is not what I am looking for.
Oh.
That
Okay.
that realization hit me at that point of time.
Okay.
So it's like sometimes you have to taste it and then you have to decide for yourself, right?
Right.
So I did that, and that point of time, it's like okay, I am in government service. I am doing well for myself. I am working out of my hometown. I
Mhm.
hold a significant amount of power
Mhm.
as an inspector of GST. People are respecting me. People whose turnover is around 20, 30 crores per annum, they come to me and they don't sit in front of me. They are like, sir, sir. They are standing and to get the. But that didn't give me a kick.
Okay.
The North Star metric was for me, like, what am I learning or what am I contributing?
Right. Okay.
Which at that point of time, I felt like, okay, jitna bhi seekna tha GST se, I felt that, okay, I had learned a decent amount in the couple of years I had over there.
Mhm.
And then I wanted to try something else. Like I had opportunities. I would say the department provides opportunities to go on deputation to something else, to CBI or to ED, or try
Right.
something out.
Right.
But it's not so easy. You
Okay.
know the internal politics and all,
Yeah.
right? You have to apply. You have to finish your 3 year quota. You have to put in some years. You have to do something else to get your papers pushed through.
Right.
So I felt like, nah, this isn't how I have to the I mean to work. I shouldn't be working this hard. So then came an honest conversation with a few of my friends. Like I have good friends who did their MBAs from the top institutes, and I had an honest conversation with them on like what's the career scope if I make a switch at this point of time. Like I was around 32 years at that point of time when I
Okay.
decided to do an MBA, and I had a uh, big hole in my resume with the 3 year gap for the UPSC.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these were negatives, and my CG in my UG wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of negatives, and leaving a secure government job to try something with a by taking an additional loan of 30 lakhs. Everything seemed against me. The odds are stacked against me at that
Right.
point of time.
Right. Right.
But speaking to a couple of friends and getting their perspectives helped me making this decision easy because the next goalpost for me, I felt like nah, every time I'm playing the short game,
Mm-hmm.
it's like why I'm seeing something for 2 years and then I'm like nah, this isn't working for me. So
Mm-hmm.
what if even if I crack something else at that stage, if
Mm-hmm.
I feel that is in the sector where I want to be, what will happen to me?
Right.
So then I thought MBA is the only pathway for me where I can switch careers or switch sectors
Right.
couple
Okay.
of times or at least after a couple of years
Okay.
and try something else. I felt that I can be in operations for a couple of years. If not that, maybe I'll try general management.
Mm-hmm.
If not, maybe I'll do my CFA
Mm-hmm.
and give a go at finance sector since I
Right.
have a background in banking. So MBA seemed the logical option
Mm-hmm.
because even at that point of time, I had an option to again maybe give one more attempt for civils, leave
Mm-hmm.
everything, take some leave or take 1 year break, career break, and go all in for civil services again. But I had made a smart choice rather than, I would say, safe and smart choice this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because according to me, by the time I graduate out of MBA, I'll have something concrete in hand. I will not be starting from zero again.
Right. Right.
So the fear of failure, in a way, pushed me towards MBA. It
Okay.
was a safe option for me at that point of time, with my age, with the situations around me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the last choice which I made was a safer bet.
Mm-hmm.
Even putting into factor that I'm leaving a government job.
Right. Right. So, Harish, you said that the odds were stacked against you. So, and you had a 3 year of like a gap also due to UPSC prep. So, during your IIM Bangalore interview or during your CAT journey, was there doubt at any point of time in your mind कि अरे नहीं मेरे से होगा क्या मेरे से होगा क्या? That is one. And second, tell a story about your IIM Bangalore interview also कि कैसे like how were you? What did you tell in the interview? Like they were like कि नहीं अपने को हरीश को select करना ही है. ऐसे कुछ था क्या at some point during the interview where you gave such an awesome answer and then, if you remember your interview, like one, was there a doubt at any point of time? And if, of course, sometimes there is a doubt, and if there was a doubt, how did you overcome it? And second, like the IMB interview story.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, until I got the interview call later, I wasn't sure it's happening. I was like with the gap in my work ex and with the UG CG being low, the chances of getting a call from Bangalore were very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that here something worked in my favor. So where they had scrapped the UG CG policy,
Right,
so they were not considering that.
right,
So that gave me an edge.
right, right. That was
So
awesome.
luckily I got the chance to give an interview.
Right.
And one more thing which I did was it was not done intentionally. I was I was looking at all the what do I say? I was uploading my profile for the interview, right?
Right.
At that time, I thought I mean I did not do it intentionally. I had my uploaded a photo of me in uniform,
Okay.
in khaki uniform.
Okay. Uniform of what?
So uniform of my so as a GST inspector, I wore khaki uniform.
Oh, okay.
Uh, So I had unintentionally uploaded that and I thought I'll remove it later and put some pic in a formal business suit. Since I'm going to B school, I felt that
Yeah.
it has to be done in, but I did not have a business school, I mean, suit, a photo in a suit at that point of time.
Right.
All photos which I had were khaki photos. the passport size.
Oh,
So I thought, why not? I'll upload this just now and I'll edit it later tomorrow. And
okay.
I completely forgot about that.
Okay.
So it was that photo was logged in.
Oh,
So when I went into the interview panel, I think the first thing they noticed was the three stars on my uniform. I
okay.
think that impressed them. I mean, without me speaking a word, the first impression was very good.
All
It
right.
luckily worked in my favor because they felt that okay, he had something concrete.
Okay.
जीएसटी यूनिफॉर्म वाला नौकरी छोड़ के आ रहा है बंदा तो he is
Okay.
genuinely interested in MBA.
Oh, okay.
So that sort of created a positive impact or the impression.
Right.
And then the questions which I had prepared, I took help from my friends who had already completed their MBAs and they were right. They had gone through the process,
Mhm.
so their guidance helped me a lot.
Right.
They were like they don't ask anything just to test you out. They'll have some deeper or deeper understanding.
Okay.
I mean, the questions which the pose will have some consequence in your selection. So be wise and think on your feet. That was the suggestion I was given.
Okay.
So another thing that luckily I think worked in my favor was I did my internship at Tata Industries, Titan Industries during my UG.
Okay.
So I was asked a question like I had written in my statement SOP statement of purpose that why do I want to do an MBA is that I want to work for a reputed Indian firm. And as soon as the professor read it, he asked, "What do you think is a reputed Indian firm?"
Yeah.
The only firm which I had worked in was Tata. So it immediately came to my mind. Like I was like, I want to work with Tata. They
Uh-huh.
asked me why. I said, I have seen their work culture and
Uh-huh.
the amount of importance they give to the people. I have experienced it firsthand. I worked in their plant. I see how they have treated their people. So working at such a company might be the right logical step. So I told them honestly that whatever came into my mind, I think they like that answer as well.
Okay.
So all of these or I would say these submitted into the end experience or into their final decision to think, चलो एक chance दे देते इसको. He
Ah,
has
they might,
he has
yeah, they might have thought कि अरे खाकी में भी है, टाटा का नाम ले रहा है कि नहीं, they treated people well, and they might have thought कि like ईमानदार officer है. Yeah, yeah, I think that worked for you. But has like these IITs, these IIM tags that you have, do they add pressure? Like, do they say that Harish is someone who has figured life out, but then you have not figured life out, and then there's a pressure on you?
so right now I have a couple of tags to me, but this was not the case a few years ago when I was in a bank job or when I was working in the government sector. IIT tags do create a pressure, but it's generally not from the outside. I think it's more to do with how we perceive them.
Right.
People expect us to be inherently smart. Like I used to get a lot of from my superiors as well in the office or from my colleagues. Banda to IIT ka hai. We have to be careful around him. It's I know that they would have passed off these comments in a jovial way or just to boost my confidence. But what essentially it creates is okay. I'm from IIT. They are recognizing it. Why am I not recognizing that?
Right. Right.
Like you get reminded of it on at least once or twice a week, then you will start thinking, okay, am I the right fit for this?
Right.
But the thing is, there's no such thing as a right fit or wrong fit. Depending on the college or the tag, it's up to you. That's
Mhm.
what I have realized after this. I know people who have graduated from IITs and are working happily as GST inspectors. I
Oh,
have a few friends.
okay.
They are very happy with what they are doing. That's for them.
Right.
Very good. Yeah, that's for them, right? So they have figured it out. They are very content with it. So yeah, who am I to judge everyone?
Right, right. Oh, yeah, awesome. All right. So generally, like most people dream of getting one government job. So you got one, you got a second one, and then you left both the like the government jobs. So like first is the what attracted you to a government job. So you said that it was more of the peers, the colleagues around you in Nellore, basically the family around you. They were like, "कि नहीं करो government job." And like, what was the phase of your life back then during the government job? And now that you are into a corporate job, like, how is it different? The government job and the corporate job, the work culture, and how did you transition?
Yeah. So like I have told you, so बचपन से I was a smart kid. Like class education में school में तो all the IITians who gather into IIT, they, in their respective schools or in their respective zones, they'll be in top one or two.
Right,
That's a
right,
given fact.
right, right.
So, but that's not the case for your relatives or your peers around your hometown, right? What
Hmm.
they'll feel is, okay, this guy will make it big. He has to become an IAS. That was
Hmm.
imprinted into me. Like
Oh,
whenever someone used to come to my house, they used to see all the small achievements. Like whenever I used to get class first or class second, they'll give at the end of the year, they'll give some small trophies, right?
right.
By the time I had reached fifth or sixth, they have accumulated into a huge number.
Right.
So, and my parents, they have put it on display
Oh.
for everyone to see. So everyone would be like, oh, and so, acha, beta, acha pad raha hai. He's doing very good. You must make him an IAS.
Okay.
So that sort of thing, I grew up hearing that.
Hmm.
So in a way, I felt that okay, since so many people are telling me this must be something really, really good for me.
Okay.
So in that way, I got attracted to that. So I made it like I started reading about success stories in the newspapers. Even during my plus one, plus two prep, I had a paper cutting of IAS first ranker from Andhra Pradesh, like his story. I
Wow.
had it in my room.
Okay.
So that was during JE prep.
You're thinking about UPSC during your JE prep.
UPSC at that point of time. Well, like why? Then you might ask me, why did you go to IIT?
Right.
Like I told you, right? I got into a good school after cracking a talent exam, so they gave me free education. And there they were conducting advanced math level courses. That was the first time I was handling those trigonometry. They were teaching trigonometry from sixth standard, seventh standard, and all. Somehow it clicked. Math was easy relatively compared to biology for me.
Right.
I was scared of drawings and all. I was scared of blood. So naturally I got attracted to math,
Wow.
and there they had introduced the concept of IIT.
Okay.
Then I heard that, not learned, I would say, I heard that the people who crack UPSC, most of them are IITians.
Ah.
So this was during my forming years, like
Hmm.
around 8th standard, ninth standard. What would I think?
Hmm. True.
So I was of the opinion, okay, okay, this is the path. This is the right path. If you want
Hmm.
to be a civil servant, you have to get into IIT. And I was already on that path because school had unknowingly introduced me to that program, and I enjoyed doing those problems.
Right. 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 Okay.
So the next logical step, when my dad came, what do you want to do? I was like, nah, I want to get into IIT.
Hmm.
Why?
Hmm.
I told him the plan. He was like, I mean, he did not have that much exposure to that part of the world. He
Hmm.
had decent amount of knowledge about IITs and all, but UPSC, taking mechanical in UPSC, though it was confusing for him, he trusted me.
Hmm.
He
बेटा
he
बोल रहा
was
है तो
always,
सही रहेगा
yeah, yeah,
हाँ
sahi hoga. So he is smart. He must have figured it out.
okay.
So he stood by me as usual. Aram, like the years went by
Mhm.
very smoothly.
Yeah, very right,
Very, very smoothly.
right.
And by the time the inflection point came, I had to decide क्या करना है, placements के लिए बैठना है or should I go to UPSC. But you must have known कि when a kid is dreaming of something from sixth standard, seventh standard, placement isn't going to stop me.
Hmm.
So I gave up placements and then I decided let me give it a try. Let me go all in. But the issue is the amount of relaxation I got used to at IIT.
Hmm.
It was very, I mean, I would say it is very tough for me to get out of that zone even today.
Okay, okay.
I'm just barely surviving by the amount of, I think, uh, the amount of chillness or the attitude to solving a problem or the approach to life. Everything, I think it was molded by IIT in, in more ways than I can imagine.
Right.
So, yeah, that's how it went. But उसके बाद, like I mentioned, satisfaction कभी नहीं आया था. Like what I was looking for, even in the service I was there in the government service, learning was the essential point at that point of time. Then, like I told you, I pushed the goalpost to 45 in terms of age. Okay, right now I'm at 30, 32.
Huh.
Where do I see myself at? Not 35. Let me imagine myself at 45. What do I want to be doing?
Okay.
Would I still want to be a government servant, or would I want to be moving up, working hard, or making up for the lost time in my 20s?
Hmm.
So I felt that I should make up for the lost time in my 20s, in my 30s, and work a little harder to
Hmm.
cover up for that.
Hmm.
So that was one of the main reason to take a MBA or to think about MBA at that point of time.
All right. But then, like, what I asked was like, government job and corporate job. Like, how?
Sorry, I
Yeah.
think I got diverted.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good story. So I was like, हाँ नहीं नहीं बताओ बताओ.
Government job में there's zero expectations, to be very honest. Like no, there's zero accountability, not
Okay.
expectations, zero accountability.
Okay.
It's like whenever you wanna come, जो एक दो घंटे का काम है कर दो, आज नहीं है तो कल करो, क्या जल्दी है, कल नहीं है तो परसों करो.
Oh,
It
okay.
depends on your superior.
Right.
Like if you got a good supervisor, if he wants to work hard, you'll have to work hard. But अकेला तू कुछ नहीं. I mean, I don't think you can do anything.
Got
At
it.
least at that grade where I was in, at that cadre,
Hmm.
uh, and the work environment itself is pretty relaxed over there.
Right.
It's no urgency.
Right.
I'm saying people का interaction भी बहुत कम ही था. It's like everything was digitized by that point of time. So digital India चल रहा था, so everything was digitalized. Interaction with people also got down. So everything used to run by mails. So they'll send something over mail and I'll respond to that whenever I have the time.
Okay.
So ऐसा आराम से चल रहा था. So and how I would say that is different to corporate right now is corporate. I think you have to stay on top of it,
Hmm.
or else people will be. Uh, I mean, you have to be very careful while you are doing the work, as well as double check it, triple check it, since it will be published to the leadership.
Right.
Since I'm in part of growth operations, whatever work I do, whatever analysis that I do, it will go higher up the chain. So
Hmm.
I'll have to be very thorough and vigilant.
Right.
So that's something that I enjoy right now. I mean,
Okay.
though it gives me stress at that point of time, but the learnings or working for that or working in team for that's slightly more appealing.
Okay.
But I do miss the calmness of the Sarkari Nokri sometimes.
Of
When
course.
this gets too chaotic, याद आ जाता है. It's like no one's there to question me, no one's there to, I mean, like push on me or micromanage me. But sometimes in corporate, it it happens. But I think that's the way to get things done. You
Of
have
course.
to stay a little bit on top of us to get things done.
What is
So
this
yeah.
like the company of yours? What does it do exactly?
So I work for EXL services. What we do is we provide essentially AI and data services to US clients.
All right. Okay.
US healthcare. I specifically work in the healthcare domain. So, for example, United Health Insurance is the biggest insurance client in US.
Okay.
So we sort of take over their data and AI requirements, or we provide services to them, that sort of thing. So
Okay.
that's just one facet of the job. I mean, the work that my company does, but there are several others.
Okay.
So it's a big firm, so they are spread out throughout the world.
Okay.
But I work with specifically US clients.
All right. Have you done this before?
No, no. I mean, in an informal setting
Yeah.
with my MBA friends who are like 5, 6 years junior to me, I give them gap.
Wow.
Then
Yeah, bro.
they'll be like, "Why, bro? Why did you come here? Why? What's the reason?" They were all curious, right? They. I mean, all of them. When I joined MBA, I must have been around 31, 32. All of them would be around 25, 24. They're pretty young to me,
Right.
so they'll get curious. They'll be like, whenever we are gathering, like they'll keep asking, well, like, why did you make this station? Why did you leave that and come here? Like even in IIM Bangalore, there won't be too many people who come from government services. I mean, in terms of percentage, will be hardly less than 5%. I'm
Right.
pretty sure of it.
Right. Right. So, Harish, like you talked about your friends at B school asking you कि क्यों आया है यहाँ पे what? So मेरा like the next question is that only कि what was the exact moment you decided कि नहीं चलो मेरे को MBA करना है? Like was there any like ऐसे यूरेका या epiphany ऐसे कुछ हुआ like नहीं I need to do an MBA? What was that moment?
Yep, like I think I mentioned this. It's not an epiphany. This was a very well thought of decision. It's not कि कोई. I told you, right? I was playing the safe game at that point of
Right,
age. I
right,
was
right, right.
already 31. I was evaluating my options. Like I knew that GST wasn't working out for me. So I was looking at क्या क्या कर सकता हूँ
Safer.
जहाँ पे I will not feel stuck.
Okay, but फिर then there were people around you, like your father supported you, But ऐसे भी लोग will be there, right, around you who thought this is a big mistake that Harish is doing. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how did you
There
overcome
are
it?
there are people, but I haven't paid much attention to them. I used to laugh whenever they say that, "Arey, why are you leaving?" Sir? When I informed my colleagues at GST office, they were like, "What are you really leaving this?" I used to laugh and say, "Yeah, madam. Yeah, that's it." I wouldn't acknowledge more than that
Right,
because it'll be very tough to give a justification or to make them understand it unless they are in my shoes or they have gone through my shoes. It will be very tough to understand. So I used to respect their opinion. They were like, "Sarkari nokri, you shouldn't leave it." Even I was of the same opinion a few years ago.
right, right, right.
So at that point of time, if someone came to me and told me that you have to leave this and do an MBA, I would have laughed at their face. But
Right,
once I went through the journey, I felt that, okay, like I told you, where I wanted to be at 45, where it made more sense and more safe
right.
in terms of money, in terms of work which I do. I wouldn't say that this will be the work which will define something or which will contribute to the society, but I think in some ways or the other, we are definitely contributing.
All right.
Either
Okay.
by paying more taxes, I think I'm contributing right now.
What's one thing that IIT taught you, Harish?
IIT taught me not to stress about anything. You can you can make it up. You have time in your life.
Oh, perfect, perfect. One thing that I am taught you.
IIM taught me that you have to stay on top of things and then you can relax.
Oh, nice. Okay.
complete complete contradicting environments
Right.
and the way of education at both of these places. IITians are pretty chill, whereas MBAs they go through a rigorous curriculum.
Mhm.
But I think it's what is necessary to get us prepared back into the real scenario. I think that's what MBA does.
Right,
Whereas IIT at I think that age you can take a couple of years to chill, relax. You can continue that.
right.
But once you do an MBA and once you are trying to get serious about your life in the Indian corporate setup, at least, I think MBA would be an ideal path.
True, true. And what's one thing that neither institution teaches?
I think mm, maybe that failure is okay.
Hmm. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing to learn. So, in my MBA days, I always used to tell this like there are presentations, right? So even during my the first very first introduction, I key introduce yourself to the class, to the teachers like that. I was like, ki, I live by this principle that our greatest glory is not in never falling down, but in rising every time we fall.
100%, 100% agreed.
Yes. So, what was one thing that surprised you most about IIM Bangalore?
I am Bangalore. Yep. I think I am Bangalore was not so academically rigorous as I would have imagined.
Okay.
I mean, the classes and the schedule was set up in such a way that we had ample time to do other stuff. That
Okay.
was very one thing very surprising.
Yeah, it is known for
I
the academic rigor, right? Yeah,
yeah. But in my first term at IIM Bangalore, I had classes only for 4 days. Like I had 3 days off.
yeah. Awesome.
I think it was for most of the first year as well,
Okay.
unless the electives were kicked in.
Mhm.
The core courses were designed in such a way that I had 3 days to myself.
Wow.
The Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were completely off. So academically, it wasn't such a rigorous thing. And graduating, I think doing an MBA is easier than doing an engineering, I guess. I mean, compared to IIT, because MBA you will be in that grind 24/7 and you'll most of the weightage is given to the group projects. So your friends and you, if you find the right group, you are already graduated. But in IITs, you have to most of the heavy lifting by yourself. You have to prepare for it along everyone else.
Right.
Everyone is evaluated individually, whereas it's not the case. It's MBA also checks how you work in a team.
Right.
I think that.
Best place
Working
to
in a
be.
team is always easy when someone else is there to pick up the load, or
Right,
when they
right,
are
right.
not doing well, we can pick up the load. So
Yeah, there'll
I
always be
felt that,
someone, अरे मेरे को CGPA हाई रखना है, नहीं नहीं मैं ये करूंगा वो करूंगा, and they do the heavy lifting, right? So
yeah,
during my MBA days, like there were, again, like you said, it used to be group projects. Some of the times there were like days when like we had to give presentations. These people are creating slides. I have not even seen the slides that what they have created, and while presenting, that's the first time I'm going through the slides. And then one time when there was an actual group project where everyone had to create their own slides because they have given task कि ये तुझे करना है, ये
yes,
तुझे करना है.
yeah,
Even the professor has done that, and I did not create the slides. I did not make the slides, and then I was like कि क्या. I feel that presentations are the worst. Like creating slides are the worst way to is the worst way to do presentations. And I was like, no, I will close the laptop today. And I closed the laptop and I was like, कि नहीं अभी मैं presentation दूंगा. I want to interact with the audience. That is how
yeah,
I
yeah,
gave my presentation. So I feel कि ये सब we have learned through the engineering days. कि like you said कि कितना भी कुछ भी problem आए, right? Yeah, we'll be able
yeah.
to solve it. So Harish, like, what's the biggest myth about top institutions?
Top institutions, I think the biggest myth would be everyone would be smart over there. That's not the case.
Okay. All right. You
I
are.
think I think everyone has a place even at the top institutes. So it's not necessary to be afraid or think highly of everyone graduating out of top schools.
Mhm.
It's a mixture of everything. There are of course smart people who are reshaping everything.
Correct.
At the same time, there will be fools coming out of IITs and IITs.
All right.
I would say I'm one of. I would proudly say that I am one of them.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, I don't think the audience will agree to that. So Harish, like, if it's fine if we put your LinkedIn profile in the description, right? If anyone wants to connect with you, who is like, कि यार मेरा भी प्रोफाइल सिमिलर है या मैं मुझे भी IIM के लिए प्रेप करना है, and then they connect with you. Like, whenever you get time, is it fine if they connect with you?
I'd be happy to help. I do get a few connections now that I have shifted from corporate. I mean, I am into corporate sector. I have been keeping a track of the connections I receive. Like when I was in government sector, the I was active on LinkedIn, but it barely moved. But nowadays, I do get a lot of connection requests. I think it's because of the IIM tag, definitely. And I do try to help people out whenever I can. If they are
Okay.
conflicted about going to MBA or continuing in the government service, I'll definitely give my 2 cents of advice, and ultimately it should be up to them.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of
It's
course.
like their choice. Everyone wouldn't have that luxury. Sometimes you will not have the luxury, even though you want to.
Right.
I think you have to consider that. Interestingly, I think I had another guy along with who sat for IIM Bangalore interview along with me, who was into a government sector. I think public sector. He was working with some oil and gas company.
Did he get selected?
He got selected, but interestingly, he did not join.
Wow. Okay.
That was his I mean, I spoke to him. He was like, nah, I don't want to take this stress at this point of time. Mera already settled there, so I want to continue on this my career. I mean, it's almost path is drawn for me. I'll follow this. I was just curious to try this, but I don't think this was for me. And I think he wouldn't have arrived at that conclusion so easily as well, right? He must
Yeah,
have given
he
us a
must
lot
have.
of that.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
like,
I had to, I respected his choice and said, good luck, brother. Yeah, I hope you make it right.
yeah, yeah,
So
like,
in the end, it's up to everyone and
right.
their outstanding circumstances.
Yeah, different kinds of people. Like even take this guy's example. There'll be people out there dying, like fighting, crying, sweating, to get into IIM Bangalore, and then there's this guy who got selected, and he's like, कि नहीं मेरे को नहीं चाहिए वो stress. So yeah. So Harish, like, let's talk about some opinions that are everywhere online currently, like कि MBA is becoming irrelevant. What do you feel?
Like I told you, MBA is a way to get ready for the corporate world uh, rather than feeling that they teach you something out of ordinary. I don't think that's gonna happen. I
Mhm.
think even then you have to put in the hard work. Process are definitely there. They're very knowledgeable. They can guide you. But in the end of the day, I think every business is different.
Right.
Every situation is different, every problem is different.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of luck will also factor in how you solve that problem, right?
Right.
But MBA, I would say, I think it'll equip you with the right tools
Mhm.
rather than saying that it'll make you all potent, but
Right.
it'll give you the right tools to solve the problem. And the end of the day, how you solve it, it's up to you.
True. True.
Another important aspect is networking within the MBA group. I think you'll once you get the tag, once you interact with people, you'll find some splendid people doing great, outstanding work.
True.
So I think you can get inspired, or you can maybe pursue them to invest in you or your ideas, or you can invest in their ideas.
Mhm.
I think overall the networking is a major boost. I don't think MBA has become irrelevant as of now. I because if that's the case, I wouldn't have made this switch at that point of
Right.
time.
True. True. All right, Harish. Skills matter more than degrees. Agree or disagree?
I have to say that I agree, definitely agree.
Ah. Okay.
Because degree, I think it's just a way to get yourself equipped with the right skills.
Mhm.
Sometimes, even after graduating, you'll not be having the right one. I'm
Right.
sure it
Right.
depends on the work. Say, for example, uh, I had zero knowledge about US healthcare, like
Mhm.
how it works, and MBA couldn't teach me that. I
Right.
mean, I had to get myself equipped with the right amount of knowledge about US healthcare, right?
Mhm.
How can we, that there is vast amount of knowledge outside.
Mhm.
MBA can only teach us the basics of everything and how to approach it.
Mhm.
So definitely, I would say skills matter more and deep domain expertise matters more than everything in the long run.
Right. Right.
You shouldn't, I feel that right now, I feel that you shouldn't be a generalist at everything. Rather
Mhm.
than that, pick a niche for you, work your ass off in that, and become an expert in that.
Right.
Whether anything, whether it's finance, whether it's operations, whether it's AI, which is evolving, or it's product management, get into that, grow in that. There is enough to contribute in every sector. Don't go on exploring every field every couple of years. Maybe do that in the beginning of your career, but once you hit 30s or something,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would advise the younger people to pick a niche for them.
20-year-old Harish, when you were younger, obviously you are young now also, but a 20-year-old Harish, what was his and like how did he envision like how his life will be today, and how is your life today? Like what is the difference? Obviously, yeah, yeah, like the pre-engineering Harish would be like कि नहीं मैं यूपीएससी क्रैक करूंगा मैं आईएएस जाऊंगा वो नहीं, but apart from that, like not only in terms of exams, like everything else.
Everything else, I would say that I'm pretty fulfilled. I don't have many regrets as of now because I got to try many things. Even though whether it's a failure story or a success story, only time will tell. But the chance to explore so many things, I don't think many people have that luxury. I had that luxury, so I'll have to be grateful and acknowledge that.
Mhm.
So 20-year Harish wouldn't have expected to make so many career switches. And by the time I reach 35, be standing where I am. But I think I'm grateful for where I am. I should be. Like, I feel that I'm doing fairly good. And I feel that there is a lot to look forward to. So, like I said, the goalpost again moved to 45. Maybe when I reach 45, to move to 50.
Of course,
So
of course. So, Harish, like what career advice sounds smart but is actually incomplete?
that everything will, I mean, that everyone can figure out everything. Sometimes you need help, sometimes you need experience, sometimes you need failures, sometimes you make mistakes.
Right?
I think there is no single career out there which will fit everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which will satisfy you. Because I have seen people who got into management consulting
Mm-hmm.
who worked their whole life towards that goal for 5 to 6 years.
Wow.
Like right from engineering, mid of engineering, they wanted to get into management consulting
Mm-hmm.
and they finally are doing it, but
Okay.
they don't feel fulfilled. Right now, they say that I am where I want to be. I am making good amount of money. I am making decent bucks. I am in the sector where I want to be.
Mhm.
I am in supply chain consulting.
Right.
Very close friend of mine, and he says that he is not sure whether he wants to do this for the rest of his life.
Okay.
So, so career, I think ultimately you have to figure it out for yourself.
All right. Okay. So, Harish, you reinvented yourself basically. Did you ever feel behind your peers? Like, how do you then, like, if you feel you are behind, you said that there were younger people in your batch also at IIM Bangalore, uh, to whom you used to give gyan basically because of your experience. So, did you ever feel behind? And if you did, then how did you stay confident?
And there were a lot of times where I felt that okay, this is not my place. Maybe I should have done this sooner.
Hmm.
Whether I made the right choice coming in so late. But one thing that did not stop me was I was not afraid to take their help. Even though I was good at giving gyan, they were good at solving problems
Right, 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 right,
or making presentations
right.
or explaining some concepts to me.
Okay.
So by putting aside that ego or putting aside that fear of judgment, I was able to make good friends, good bondings that will last a lifelong, that will last for throughout my life. So those helped me definitely when I was at my low. I had faced some difficulties during my summer placements.
Okay.
So they were behind me, they supported me.
Mhm.
And the scenes were reversed during final placements. I was doing good. I had a couple of shortlists. So everything I've realized was it's the tough phase also doesn't last, and you need support.
Right.
And support of younger peers helped me definitely look at things from a different perspective.
Mhm.
So even though I felt that I was out of place, but I never felt that the people around me did not make me feel that way. They were always kind and they were always warm. So that
So Harish, like, what does success mean today?
helped. Success means peace of mind, I guess.
Yes, yes. And what actually gives peace?
What actually gives peace? A calm home, good food,
Yes.
Barcelona winning.
Hala Madrid. And yeah, so what is your favorite biryani, Harish?
I think you have to try mutton biryani. That's the proper way to eat a biryani.
I'm a big fan of chicken biryani. I like when I'd come to Hyderabad, I think I tried all the famous joints like
Yeah,
Paradise, Bawarchi. Yeah, these two were the famous ones if I'm not wrong.
yeah.
Yeah,
There are plenty more right now, but yeah, those are the I think OGs.
yeah,
They do
exactly.
make a
Yeah.
good biryani.
All right, Harish. So we talked about your success, like you saying that peace of mind. Like what becomes less important with age?
Uh, Maybe money, I guess, but that's I'm not at that phase right now.
Okay.
I think it should be money only.
Okay.
Because once your needs are fulfilled and you are able to spend some quality time pursuing your passions, I think money should come in second.
Right.
But right now, I am not at that phase because I have to pay off my loans. I need all the money that I can get.
If Harish, everything had gone exactly according to your original plan, let's say कि IIT करना है, UPSC करना है, would your life be like? Obviously, you can't tell it exactly, but would your life be better or worse? What do you feel?
If it had gone according to the plan, I don't know. It, I'll have to be honest and say it could have been better.
Okay.
Could have been better, but I never know. But to top it off, I think going this way was not all bad.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I mean, like me, you can't always have highs, right? You have to see some lows to understand the values of those highs.
Yeah. You
So in
need
that
to
way,
see
I
the
think,
lows. Yeah, to enjoy the highs. Okay, Harish. Let's come to the rapid fire round. Right,
yeah,
like don't only fast answers, no detailed answers. IIT in one word.
IIT exploring, maybe time to explore.
Okay. Government job in one word.
Aram, it's like peace of mind.
Okay. IIM in one word.
Chaotic, but
MBA in
organized chaos.
organized chaos. Okay. MBA in one word.
Changed my life.
Stability or growth.
Growth, always growth. Whether it's at a snail's pace or whether you make a rapid growth, it's always growth.
Security or opportunity.
I think
I
it'll
think
evolve
you'll
with time,
choose.
but
Yeah, you'll choose opportunity if I am not wrong, based
opportunity,
on
yeah.
your
My
career
personal
path.
experience, it's opportunity. Yeah,
Most overrated career advice.
I have received. Yeah, like don't leave anything that is so stable. Your
Okay.
life is already set.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
That's something I think.
you need to explore. You're still young. So most overrated LinkedIn trend.
I think putting everything in the form of some experience.
Yeah, yeah. We're seeing a
Putting
lot of
long, lengthy posts like I have seen this happen to him. He approached me for this. I think that's all bullshit. I mean, yeah, Instagram shouldn't be a place for learnings rather than, I mean, at least not some made up story shouldn't be there.
yeah,
It
yeah.
should be honest
Honest, true. One thing that society gets completely wrong.
that there is time.
So, okay, you need to hurry up, like, don't waste a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
time.
Always people always keep some deadlines, though it is true in some sense, but it's not as urgent as they seem make it out to be. I mean, they push they keep. If you look at the previous generation, I think everyone was married by 25, but right now no one is married before 30 in our generation at least.
True, true, true.
So we have pushed our goalpost by 5 years. So the next gen they might not even get married at all.
Yeah, yeah, quite
So
possible. Nowadays, there are people like, yeah, अरे नहीं हमको बच्चा नहीं करना है, so we are adopting a dog. वो हो रहा है, like, yeah, all times are changing. One thing younger you got completely wrong.
that the Sarkari Nokri was the only way to live a life.
All right, okay. One thing you wish more students understood.
That going through previous papers and getting a sense of what the exam is about is more important. The groundwork is more important rather than mindlessly preparing for it
All right.
just by following some trends. Understand what the exam is about
Mhm.
and then take some good guidance, and then I think they should be good to go.
So, Harish, you have had multiple careers, multiple identities also, multiple definitions of success. So, tell me honestly, when does a person stop searching?
I think that quest will not end in terms of I mean, maybe career will get replaced by family.
Mhm.
Once you have familial obligations, I think you'll get some. You can't have that opportunity. So I had that opportunity, so I was able to do that. But the quest for knowledge, I think it will never end for anyone. Uh, in some sense or the other, maybe the in the way in which they approach their job might change. Some might want something more relaxing, and
Mhm.
someone want a more challenging environment, but I don't think people will stop learning because every day there is something new to learn for every one of us.
True.
It's
True.
only the circumstances which change.
All right. Okay. That's like a very enlightening answer. So Harish, like if a 22-year-old walked in today and said, "Ki, I don't know what I want to do with my life," what would your suggestion be to him or her?
I would advise them to find something to work towards, like whether they. I would advise them to try something in the corporate sector first, and if they don't feel that's the right cup of tea,
Mhm.
then maybe they can prepare for government services,
Mhm.
or else they can think about doing an MBA and
Okay.
getting into higher positions. But I wouldn't. The only piece of advice that would come from me is not sit idle. Do something.
Do something. Take actions. Right.
Yeah. Take actions. Yeah. Move ahead. Whether it's right or wrong, only time will tell. There's no point in wondering whether I'm making the right choice at this point of time. When you're only 22, there's still a lot of time ahead,
True.
and time will only tell.
Yeah. That's the actual time when they can afford to take risks. Actually. So some people spend their lives following a path. Others spend their lives discovering it. This was Under the Bodhi Tree with Harish. And Harish, do you have anything to say to like the people that will be watching this? So most probably they'll be in the age group of let's say 22 to 25, maybe preparing for MBA entrance exams, or some might be doing their MBA and some might be have like they might have completed their MBAs and they have started their corporate life. So like what would you want to tell them?
So I would say that there is a place for everyone, and there is opportunity for everyone. Don't get scared to try something new and fail. And I mean, failure only comes from lack of try. Everything else is not failure, that's for sure.
True.
Maybe you might not realize that at that point of time, but everything will become crystal clear once you look at in the rearview mirror and see what you have done. I think you'll be proud of yourself, but keep on trying. So go ahead and try whatever you want, fail at it, succeed at it. End of the day, it's only one life.
Oh, okay. YOLO. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. And Harish का LinkedIn तो डालेंगे नीचे. And I'm sure कि whenever he is a busy guy and whenever he gets chance, comments में भी कुछ doubts रहेंगे तो do let us know in the comments also below. And अगर कुछ specific पूछना है तो you can always connect with him over LinkedIn. Thank you. See you in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. Have a good time. Bye bye.